So guys, let me tell you a little bit of prehistory of this thing. So I was reading this book from Julie Kagawa. There are 3 books, series, Blood of Eden it's called. It's something like Twilight. Yeah, I know, it's a little bit like for women or something. It's like romantic stuff with vampires. Amazing. The idea is that I didn't have anything to read and I was like on the beach when I was in Greece. So I started this series. I'm still on the last book. And there is this very, very bad and crazy, old, very strong vampire who is called Saren. Today, without any connection to the books, I was searching for some monster to do in the stream. And I was searching in ArtStation. I didn't find anything suitable. So I went, yeah, I admit it. I went to Pinterest, where everything is AI right now. And I wrote monster. And suddenly, this interesting concept came out, which is probably AI, obviously. But it doesn't matter. What matters is, it is kind of fitting. I saw it and I said, okay, this looks like this Saren guy from the book that I'm reading. So let's do this guy. Let's do him in the stream. He's, as you can see, beautiful. A very, very beautiful guy. Amazing looking. And yeah, last time we were doing some girls, which is bad. Now we are doing beautiful monster. Amazing. That's what we like. Back to the roots, if we have to say. What I mean by that is that I like to do monsters a lot. This is my maybe favorite thing to draw and to, at least it was back in the days, because it's easy. Not it's easy. It's easy because it is easier to draw or sculpt monsters than to draw or sculpt normal humans. Probably, you know, monsters are easy for beginner, because I don't know why. Probably because they don't need to be like anatomical correct or something. But also, whatever you do, if you try to do a nice female, for example, most of the time, if you don't know anatomy and everything, it will come out as a monster. If you try to do a nice male, for example, if you don't know anatomy and forms and everything, it will come out as a monster. So monster is actually pretty easy to do as a beginner. You have to just try to do something similar to a human or something similar to a lizard or something similar to whatever you want, and then it will become a monster because you don't know basics. That's the stuff. Amazing. That's why probably I liked a lot to do monsters, and maybe some of you too. I mean, especially males. I don't think that female artists are that into monsters, although I'm sure there are exceptions. But yeah, especially Janice in the Discord server, of course, she's doing only monsters. Some original stuff she's doing. So yeah, we have girls who likes monsters. In the Discord server even. But don't come into the Discord server expecting to meet girls. There are not so many, and also it's the server for mostly socializing and doing 3D modeling, sculpting mostly, yeah. Modeling, yes, you can do modeling, I guess. But mostly what we do is sculpting, because it is what I do best. Maybe we can say. You know, I can do modeling without any issue. But modeling is easy for me. For me, when you start your 3D journey, you have to start, for example, with modeling to get the easy part done, to get familiar with the 3D programs and everything, and only then, when you are relatively well in modeling, then you can probably start doing sculpting, because sculpting is the more difficult part, and not technically exactly. It's difficult because it is mostly anatomy. It's a lot of stuff that you have to learn for a long time. Nobody has learned anatomy for a week or a month or even 1 year. It's something that we learn for, maybe we can say, a lifetime. But of course, as you can see, a lot of people are very good in anatomy. There are people in our station, they are posting, and their anatomy is on point. So yeah, in order to learn anatomy in a good way, to a good point, you don't need a lifetime. But you need a lot of practice, like a couple of thousands of hours of practice maybe will do you good. Maybe. I'm not saying it will be. So, since this is easy, I will pay attention to the chat a little bit more today, probably. Is baking other maps from normal map in Substance Painter? Is baking other maps from normal maps in Substance Painter? Because the high poly is so huge, take about 100 million poly, and every time I baked it crashed, so I sculpted the details using multi-res. So, okay, now, if your high poly is very, very big, then what you can do is what every artist does when he exports the high poly to a different program to retopologize or to bake, is to decimate. Decimate it, smooth it. I mean, make sure it's smooth when you decimate it. So for example, you see this is not decimated. Let's shade smooth it, and now it looks a lot more polygon than it is. So it will bake a smooth normal map relatively, although it is kind of not. So if you decimate your high poly from 100 million polygons, I'm sure it can come down to about 10 million, which is a good number. Maybe 20 million if you are fine with it. Of course, decimating this kind of big numbers, it has to be done in parts. So if you have like different parts of the model, decimate them separately, because if you try to decimate one part, which is 100 million polygons, Blender will not do it. It will either crash or it will take forever. I will say probably crash is the best bet in this case. So yeah, that's the idea. Good morning everybody, and good day also. Justin says good morning because he is of course in United States of America, where now is around, if I'm not mistaken, around 8:38 in the morning, something like this. You're so fast, rip Charlie Kirk. Yeah. So yeah, about Charlie, by the way, this guy that they killed. Yeah, even if you don't agree with his ideas or with his, I don't know, posture or whatever, being happy that somebody was killed so brutally is just, I don't know, it's, yeah. I'm not sure I agree with all that he's saying, but I definitely don't agree with his murder, you know. It's just, I don't understand the people who actually are happy, because I've seen some people in the social media how they are cheering his death, which is, I mean, what happened? What happened with this world? Where is your humanity? What's up? Is he a killer? Probably not. I would guess that he is not an actual murderer or some like bad person that's doing bad things to children, for example. No. Is he somebody who started a war in a neighboring country that is taking lives of the thousands of people, including a lot of children? Everyone is suffering? I guess not. So does he deserve to die? Probably not. So yeah, why are you cheering? I'm not, you know, everybody can judge for themselves. I'm just saying my opinion. Even if you don't agree with somebody else's opinion, and he's just speaking of something, to kill him, yeah, I don't know the full story, of course, but just by, you know, watching this and that, I'm saying that I'm not happy. It was brutal, and it will bring probably a lot of problems in the long term for everybody. So yeah, We don't like it. You're fast, Nico. Thank you very much. Very scary guy. Yeah, he looks like a scary guy. What's up with the emoticons today? Everybody's emoticoning. And yeah, you are wondering, I mean, you are saying you're fast and everything, but you know I'm fast, you know, it's that I'm just, every time I am. Also, I did this like few hours ago in the Discord server. So this is my second time doing this particular sculpt. And yeah, you will say, but are you not bored to do it a couple of times? Probably, yeah. It's not that nice, but you know, the first time I did it, it was not perfect. The second time is now, it will not be perfect. So it's like if you are seeking for perfection, or at least something to be relatively good, so doing it a couple of times is not a bad option. My opinion, of course, again. But of course, everything that you will hear here in this channel will be mostly my opinion, because I'm the host of this channel, maybe we can say. So my opinion is mostly what you will know here. I will advise everybody to have their own opinion about everything, not to rely on somebody else's opinion, of course, like mine or whatever. Even if you like what I do, like sculpting, when I am saying my political views, I'm just saying them. I don't expect anybody to agree or whatever. But if I have to say, if somebody does the same thing that they did to Charlie, but to another guy in Russia, he's some kind of a president or whatever, maybe I will not be that mad. I will not be that frustrated. I will be like, maybe he kind of deserved it, but no, we never know. It's difficult. Humanity. We have to remain human, you know. If we don't, if we become like animals, it's I don't know if we're gonna be happy with that, with ourselves even. The people who are in war, for example, like in Vietnam or whatever, when they come back after the war is over, if they live, of course, I don't think they are happy, because they lost their humanity there. So it's not the best thing ever. Okay, let's analyze this. We go here. I just have to do another mirror, generate a mirror, and then this mirror will be on z-axis. Okay, it's up there. Then I will apply this mirror, which is great, and then I will take this upper thing, select it, and push it down and place it under here. All right, I think it is relatively fine. I think he's the Porsche of the. I think he's the Porsche of digital sculpting. You see, no, I'm probably some. You mean like fastness? Yeah, probably we can say that. But you know, every time I'm saying the same thing. It's not only about speed. It's always, when you see in ArtStation some portfolio, it's only about the quality. You don't care if you see something in ArtStation that the guy had made it for 2 hours. If he posts there, he has to make it for as long as it takes for it to be good enough. You know, if somebody is like bragging, I did this amazing piece for 1 hour. But it's not amazing. For 1 hour, it will not be amazing. It will just be something that's, it could be good for 1 hour. So this speed actually is only good for streaming. That's probably the only thing that's good for something that's visible right away. Now I'm showing you what I do, and probably nothing else. So yeah, If we go to our station, all my pieces in our station have been done for hours and hours, not 1 hour. More than 5, most of the things. Maybe more than 10, some of the things more than 50, as the latest course that I did. More than 50 hours it took me. But of course, if I do this for like freelance or something, it will not take 50 hours. It takes 50 hours because I explain a lot. I explain all the time, and only that's why it takes like so many hours. Alright, it doesn't look super bad. Why? Because the teeth, we paid a little bit more attention to the teeth. We have made this, each separate teeth like its own. And now the teeth are making it look relatively nice. So it's teeth fault. So when we're making this kind of, let's say a monster, where you have to make some teeth, make sure the teeth are good. Make sure you make them nice. Otherwise, it will not look like a great monster. But anyway. These lines here around the mouth are very, very important. We have to make them so it looks like he's like spreading his mouth a lot, like he's opening it, and it's stretching. It's stretching a lot there. How are you doing today, brother Nico? I'm doing great. Have you been in Philippines and Indonesia? Unfortunately, I haven't, but I have to go. One should recognize he shouldn't be killed, and that's how he died. Doesn't make him a better or worse person. One should recognize he shouldn't be killed, and that's how he died. I don't understand what is this. I'm nervous to be sculpting as my previous trials didn't go so well. Watching you is making me go and fail again. That's a good idea, to fail again, because failure will teach you. I mean, in the beginning you cannot expect to do something like amazing, but you can try at least. The more you try, the better you will become. The more things you will learn. And the happier person probably you will be. Because when you know something, when you are good in something, whatever it is, I mean, you are expert in rocket science, or you're expert in cleaning toilets, like I always give this example, but you are expert in something, so you're gonna feel nice. You can start to associate yourself with this thing. If you're not expert in anything, then I don't think you can be very happy, but I'm not sure, of course. I may say I'm expert in sculpting, digital sculpting, and also in 3D, maybe we can say. I'm not expert in particles, I'm not expert in materials or rendering that much, but in sculpting, expert is what I can be. Not a super huge expert. There are better people that are better than me, but they are also experts, so it's fine. When I make courses about stuff, and the courses are, well, they are selling well, and people are liking them, then probably I should call myself an expert, right? I should be able to. At least. And yeah, when you have this, you have kind of a little bit more self-esteem to have. And we need it. I mean, here in Eastern Europe, the way we were raised, most of the people here in Eastern Europe, we need some self-esteem from somewhere, to come from somewhere. So yeah, we try to become expert in something, to become very good in something, and then it's better for us. I don't know if in Western world it's like this. Probably they're raised in some different way, and they don't need this to have self-esteem. They just have it because they were always told that they're good. They're always told, but we were not like this. If you do something which your parents doesn't like, sometimes they call you stupid, sometimes they will beat your ass, you know, it's like... But of course I'm not saying all the Western civilization is perfect. Maybe there are also people that are raised this way there. But yeah, it's interesting topic, of course. Some people will say you shouldn't need external validation to feel good or to feel accepted. But in this case, a little bit of external validation when you are good in something, when you spend the time and you become expert in something, is, I think it's fine. I like it. It gives me, pleasure. But you see, I'm not every guy. I'm just me. For somebody else, it could be a little bit different. It could be something else that gives you more pleasure. For me, sculpting, making something out of nothing, especially monsters, actually, I don't know, but monsters are just very cool to do. Because they're easy. Probably, yes. Because it's so easy to make a relatively good-looking monster, at least for me. But for most people, this probably will be our weekly challenge in the Discord server, so that's cool. And it will be pretty much one of the easiest weekly challenges that we have ever, I think, made. So our vampire is a little bit of muscular guy. Let's shrink down his neck so he's more creepy than muscular, and we will be better off. The creepiness factor is better, I started doing the head sculpting course. You're an amazing teacher. Thank you very much. Greetings from Zimbabwe, man. Love your work. Nice to catch you live again. Zimbabwe, yeah, in Africa, I know, yeah. Recently I was doing again, today I have to do it again, GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr is one very interesting website when we can go, and you can, it kind of drops you in the middle of somewhere in the world, and you have to move. It's something like a Google map. You have to move around, and you have to see where you are, and you have to point it in the map where you are. So you have to guess exactly where you are, which is kind of cool. I like it a lot because it gives me like I can travel in a lot of places without actually going there. It's gives me this sense of adventure, and you can get to know the world a little bit better. What kind of languages in different people, like in different countries, what kind of languages they write in. For example, in Thailand, they write in their own alphabet. But in Vietnam, they write in Latin alphabet, I think it was. So, yeah, it depends. In Georgia, I think they have the Cyrillic, along with some very different than anything alphabet. So cool. I will try to get all the comments today. I mean, bom dia. Bom dia means buenos dias probably, but in Portuguese. You should make a YouTube video, 1 minute sculpting, 10 minutes sculpting, 1 hour sculpting, maybe if you have time, 10 hours sculpting. Wow. Yeah, some people are doing this kind of stuff, I see. And yeah, I guess it will be a viral video, kind of, maybe. It could be, if I do it correctly. And it will probably show that whatever you do, there always can be room for improvement. If some people are having doubts about it. I don't have doubts about that, but maybe some people have. We have to make separate eyes. By the way, I was doing this monster, and then I was doing this monster. This monster is not bad, but it relies mostly not on sculpting. The sculpting of it, it's not very, it's kind of easy. It relies a lot on materials and render to be scary, although this one, no, not so much. Materials and render doesn't matter. The forms and shapes are the thing that it's nice. So yeah, I did the other one too, just for test. It doesn't turn out so well, so I'm doing this one for the stream today. What brush are you using? I'm using a lot of brushes. I mean, at least 10 brushes. Yeah, I'm using now, you see, grab brush, very important brush, one of the best brushes. Standard brush, or draw brush in this case. I mean, draw brush is called in Blender. Draw sharp brush, which is damn standard in if you have used the ZBrush. Draw sharp brush. And then sometimes I'm using the clay strips brush. And those are the main brushes I'm using. The grab brush and the draw brush are actually the most important brushes in my opinion. Everything else is just kind of optional, but you can do almost anything with grab brush and the draw brush. Even you can skip using the draw sharp brush. You can just make your draw brush smaller and then it will be a draw sharp brush. So yeah. He's almost ready for, let's see how much time. For 26 minutes, we may say he's almost. No, he's not ready. He's far from ready, but overall, we can see it's looking like almost like the picture. Although I have to make his teeth, those teeth here, a little bit bigger, probably. The canine teeth, we call them. A bit bigger canine teeth will be nice. Yes, that's cool. That's better. Maybe they should be a little bit more separated. Keep them separated. Why I didn't click the topology here? I thought I clicked it, but no. So canine teeth. Nice. And then we should fix also the gums. This is not gums and roses. This is just the gums of our vampire. All right. Yeah, again, for this amount of time, he will not be the same as the concept. But since it's a monster, it will be very, very close. It will be much closer than any beautiful girl sculpt that I did recently or before. I mean, the girls are difficult. I always say that the girls are the most difficult to sculpt. Because, I don't know, they have to be beautiful and it's difficult to make them beautiful, especially if you don't know a lot of stuff. And for me also it's kind of difficult, even if I know some stuff, because it takes time. It takes a little bit more time than you normally will take with a monster or whatever. This guy is like, where? And his eyes are almost complete circles from the front, which means he's like this, which is great. He needs to be like this, probably. We like it. Let's make this kind of a thing here. Okay, apply the subdivision. Yeah, you see, just with a little bit of touch, it's doing nice. You should make it, okay, idea about rendering, the best, okay. Is there a way to export and keep the poly paint in Arnold? UF5 Marmoset? I'm not sure about that. You know, recently I had to do a freelance, and I'm still working on the freelance, where I'm doing stuff in Blender. I'm doing poly paint and other stuff, and then I had to export it for Maya. And the guy who is rendering the stuff is rendering it in Maya. and it didn't work. So I just had to really quick retopologize and bake all the things into textures. This was my decision, how I solved this issue. So yeah, I guess retopologizing quickly and baking the vertex color into a texture would make sure that you will be able to open your model the same way in all applications possible. I'm not gonna make some like hairs. I'm gonna make just something some little horns. I don't know, just to have something in the beard. Not bad, I would say. Not quite bad. Especially if we do some kind of render of this guy at some point. But for now, I will just continue to detail until we are done. When we will be done? I don't know. Maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. We'll see. We can be done even now if we just place this like a light here, and it's gonna be relatively fine, especially if we kind of move it a little bit like this. And it's kind of can work out. Heineko, is that an AI image, or you can give the name of the artist? I think it's AI. AI images are easily recognizable. I don't know why, but they have so much detail on small areas which are insignificant usually. People usually don't do this. So that's how you can kind of recognize the AI. So this is most definitely it's AI. So yeah, I will not be able to give you the name of the artist since it is AI. Or at least I think it is AI. Again. Just started ZBrush. Can I have some advices for mentality and how to not quit and actually enjoy it? That's a difficult question. How to not quit and actually enjoy it. Usually, I noticed that if I go to ArtStation and start looking other people's works, I will give myself a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a will to start sculpting something. So maybe this can work, you know, like inspirational work. If you do some ArtStation surfing to inspire yourself from other artists, it's always a good idea. But of course, ZBrush is very strange software, especially if you start it in the beginning. I went to ZBrush from 3D Max, and it was very awkward for me, because ZBrush is awkward for everybody who has experience in another 3D software. It's pretty awkward. So yeah, you just have to know that if you spend working in the software with courses, tutorials, YouTube videos, at least 150 to 200 hours, you will start probably feeling a little bit comfortable in it. In the beginning, it will always be hard with any software. It will be slow. It will be meticulous. It will be like you can easily quit in the beginning. But if you persist for at least 200 hours, which is difficult. I mean, you have to do 10 hours every day for 20 days, which is difficult. But if you do that, even before the 200 hours are over, you probably will be pretty comfortable, a little bit faster in this software. You will know a lot of stuff. And my advice is for everybody who wants to get good in some software. start your journey and don't stop for a long time. If you stop even for 2 weeks, you will go back a lot. I don't know how many hours you will go back with, but it will be a lot. Even now, when I go to a vacation, for example, and I don't sculpt for 2 weeks, for example, when I come back, I'm a little bit rusty. I feel a little bit rusty, although I have thousands of hours of experience in the subject. But it's normal. Let's make his inner mouth a bit darker. Let's make this portion here also darker. Dark. And he's starting to look amazingly like the concept. When we are putting this kind of dark spots around. Interesting enough. Yeah, it's something like drawing I'm doing now. You know, I'm just putting the shadows where I need them to be. And it's relatively working, we may say. Come on. Yeah, it's not completely bad, I would say. Drawing. Yeah, if you draw like this with vertex paint, it will be something like a drawing, you know. If you want to do it properly, it probably will be okay to do it with render. But we can do both. I mean, I will draw now, and then we will go to make a render. And we'll see if it will be fine. I'm getting away from it just to see the overall shapes, the overall shadows and light, everything. And the problem here is I don't have asymmetry, but usually when I'm working for like an hour or so, I don't do asymmetry. I keep the things symmetrical. I will do shade smooth on the teeth because they need to be smoother. Now it's better. And we can go to render. So now you see, this doesn't look like anything. It looks like complete shit. Let's go and try some other thing here. You know, in the beginning when you go to a render, for example, you will see this. But if you go to this little tiny arrow here and disable scene world and dial down the strength of this because it's usually at 1. If you dial it down, you will have something like it can also rotate something like HDR. Of course, this is only for preview. If you type F12 to render, there is no camera actually. But if we place a camera, for example, and place it here like this, if we press F12, it shouldn't render it because it is, I don't know, it's not renderable exactly. So the render result will be black. This is only for a preview, which is good for, in our case, it's fine. We don't need this. But when you are working for actual project, I will advise you to probably not use this method, we may say. We need some shadows. I will place this here. Since I need harsher shadows, I would get this light, increase the light, the power of it a little bit more, and then I will decrease the strength of our, or I will choose another one like this, for example. This could be better, or this one. No, this one is not good. Let's check all of these here. They are by default in Blender. This one is not super bad, but this one I think it's best. And if we dial down the color of it, so it will give us just a little bit of a overall light, it will be nice. I don't know why in the mouth right now I don't have these harsh shadows. Maybe I will have to dial down the strength a little bit more. And since I put some color in it, I will go like this, select one, mesh, and go to color attribute material, then select the other meshes, and some of the meshes now will become, you will see, black. Oh no, they didn't. But usually they did because I haven't done polypaint on all of them, or vertex paint. It's called vertex paint, usually. But in Blender, in ZBrush I mean, it's called polypaint. So, yeah. Around the eyes, we also can have this kind of a yellow, reddish transitions. Maybe the light can be a little bit lower. Yeah, it's not ultra bad, I would say. But let's dial up a little bit this strength of this light. And this one, our main light, we can dial it down. It shouldn't be that harsh. It doesn't need to be. And we have something, which is... Okay. Bro, you are an animal. How you can do this so easy, impressive as fuck. Yeah, but I told you, monsters are easy. I know you have decade of experience, but goddamn, still you're a beast. I have actually a decade and a half of experience in sculpting. So sculpting, decade and a half. When I started with 3D Max, it was maybe 2 decades ago I started. Yeah. You have 3 alphabets in Georgia. Yeah, a lot of alphabets, I would say. A lot of them. Too much. Niku, his upper face is small. Yeah, because he doesn't have hair, probably. Just noted, Niku, you're already using Blender 4.5. Yeah, I usually am using the latest Blender, if I can. Sometimes I'm lagging a little bit behind, but yeah, I'm using the latest Blender sometimes, most of the time. All of them are ours, not Cyrillic or Latin. Ah, so all of the alphabets in Georgia are yours. They're not Cyrillic or Latin. You are lying to yourself in this. One of your alphabets is kind of Cyrillic with probably a couple of Latin. I'm not sure, but it's either Cyrillic or Latin with some additional characters or additional like things inside. But it's basically Cyrillic or Latin. And one of the alphabets in Georgia, I think one of them, is absolutely different than anything else. I think it when you see it, you will say probably this is Hebrew from the Jews, the alphabet of the I forgot the name of the country. I just but you know what I mean, yeah. For a beginner, how long should you practice before you can say sculpting is not for you? Just wondering if you want to invest to try this. I think to decide if sculpting is for you, it will be just couple of hours. But of course, you have to be able to kind of in the beginning. There are a couple of factors. One of the factors is that you don't know the program, you don't know the tools, and the tools in the program, and the tools like the pen and the tablet. If you haven't worked with the tablet before, it will be kind of hard. So yeah, I would say more than a couple of hours will be needed. Like 200 hours is more like that. And when you start sculpting, start like shaping with ease, working with the program with ease, rotating and panning and zooming in the program with ease, whatever program you're using, then probably you will start getting more pleasure with by sculpting. Otherwise, yeah. I feel like you need talent for this. I was never good at drawing, but this looks fun even though I know nothing about this or anatomy. Yeah, in the beginning it will not be as fun, because the program itself, like Blender, it requires some time to learn. I learned Blender for sculpting in Blender especially. I think it took me 100 or 105, 150 hours, something like this. But I knew Blender before. I was using it for hard surface. So only sculpting part and kind of develop my own, let's say, workflow for sculpting and modeling. It took me this amount of time, around 1 month. For most people who are not familiar with any 3D software, it will take more than that. Probably much more. Probably 3 to 4 months. It's very difficult, especially for the first month, because it will be so hard, so slow. And most people, they are opening Blender, they're saying, wow, this is very nice, it looks very cool, let me try it. They open Blender, they don't have a tablet, they just have a mouse. They open Blender, they see this cube, because when you open Blender by default there's a cube, not a sphere. They don't know how to delete the cube, they don't know how to put a sphere in it, they don't know how to go to sculpt mode, they don't know anything. And they like try a few things and say, oh, this is too much for me, and they close it, never open again. So this is most of people. But if you like to pursue this path, you have to be more persistent than that. You have to push a little bit further, like a couple of thousand hours further than this beginner stage. Will you be doing a video on how to make the sculpt game ready? This will be great. Yeah, I have courses about that. You can check it out in the description of this video. In the description of this video, and all my videos actually in this channel, you can find a couple of links. Let's see actually the description of this video. So let's analyze the description of the video. This is the description. We have 134 people watching right now, starting 46 minutes ago. Nice, good. We have 3D character and anatomy courses, which are my courses in ArtStation. You can find them here. Very good. There are a couple of promos of some courses here. Yeah. Every course that you see in ArtStation, if you click here, you will go to my ArtStation store. And if you click on the course, you will be able to see the video, which is the promo video. And the promo video of this course, for example, is 4 minutes. And I'm telling you what you can expect in this video and who is this video about. You can read it here, the same. This is the script for the video. I just paste it here. So yeah, in every course, it's like that. There are courses for anatomy, there are courses for Blender, there are courses for ZBrush even, down there. This is for beginner course for ZBrush, and this is for female anatomy, this is for male anatomy, this is for a game-ready character, this one is for game-ready character also, this is a beginner Blender course, this one is also a beginner game course, this is only for faces, skulls, female, male face and everything, this is for arms, normal, female, muscular arms like Hulk arms, this is for legs, again, female legs, male legs, folded legs, all type of stuff, and feet. So yeah, all this stuff. And yeah, let's see what else is in the description. My ArtStation, yeah, my Udemy, you can go this here and you can see my Udemy page. I have almost 30,000 total learners and almost 8,000 reviews, which is not bad. Bestseller, and so on. As you can see, the courses are pretty cheap here. But as I say, if you buy it from Udemy, I will get a little bit less than you give. Usually Udemy takes about 50% of the money, but if you buy from this page, if you click from here, I think I get like 60 or 70% of the money, which is not bad. Whatever. Instagram. Oh, I have Instagram. Not many people know that. I have 6,000 followers in Instagram. And Instagram, I showed just videos of, for example, like this. It's something that I just did for fun. This is from the Dragon Girl course, not the last one. This is before that. This is a colored version of this, printed. I think the last course I haven't printed because it's for game. So there's differences between a game character and character for printing. Most of my courses are for printing, for 3D printing. When you finish the course, and all the things that I'm saying in the course are like, let's thicken this because it will not get good in printing and everything. At the end you can print it. This is from my a 3D print from my most viewed video in this channel, which is Goro, making the Goro, and it's a very nice figurine. Came out. This video has like 700,000 views. I'm not sure, not a million yet. This is Lobo, the figurine, colored. It's very nice. And this is Lobo when I was doing it, while I was doing the course, because of course this is from the course. But this is my, of course, Instagram. I have a link to my other channel, very important. This is my main channel, which has 143 subscribers, 143,000, excuse me, subscribers. And here, this channel is mostly for educational content. So my current channel that we're right now in is for like streams. And yeah, you can find some education in the streams usually. But here in this channel, you have only educational content, and I promote my videos in this channel too. How to open the mouth of the character in 3D. My drawing and 3D skills through the years, also not a bad video, although only 20k views. Nobody's caring about this. I don't know. ArtStation, NFTs, emails, and scam. People are, it's nice to see this. Why I quit ZBrush for Blender. But one of the most useful videos actually are this series, making this character. 38 videos free in YouTube. This mistakes for the head is also a nice video. And let me see, there is a very interesting video, which is this one. How to start sculpting in Blender with a tablet. 644k views. So if you want to start sculpting in Blender, this video is probably for you. It's 1 hour video. Yeah, I know it's long, but you can spend 1 hour in your, from your life to learn how to start sculpting in Blender. I think if you want to learn, it's a good idea. My experience with drawing tablets, what tablet I'm using now and why. And this is 4 years ago, and I'm still using this particular tablet that I'm saying in this video. Skull anatomy for artists. A lot of useful content in this particular channel, which is my other channel. Let's do that. And what else do we have here? We have my Discord server here. Many people cannot find it because the link is not in this area. It's like a little bit more inside, so it's difficult to find, obviously. And donation link we have also. I don't say you have to donate. I probably will say don't do this. Donating, to me, just go and buy one of my courses. It will be the best donation in my opinion, and it will also can be useful for you because I have courses for anatomy, for Blender, for ZBrush, for game characters too. So this is the description of the video that I wanted to show you because not many people know about it, and the description of the video is important. You need a material, Nico. I don't know about that, but probably yeah. Are you hate people who use AI, or are you not mind AI users? It depends. It depends. If you try to use AI for 3D, for example, to do a freelance, I was doing a freelance for somebody. It has to be a quick job because they have something. They have a whole model. Part of this model was made with AI, and it was visible, and it was very bad to work with this model because I had to make a pose for this model that they already had, and they were asking a lot of studios, a lot of other people, and everybody was saying that this model has to be completely reworked in order to be ready for like printing, because they wanted to print it in full size. And I told them, okay, maybe I can do this. I will try. And I tried it. It was a pain in the ass, but I was able to do it. And they printed it later, and it came out pretty nice. But the idea is that making stuff with AI, especially in 3D, is very, I would say, double-sworded. So I'm not for it. I'm completely not for it. The 3D AI is still in a pretty bad position. Before you start the sculpting, how do you break down or analyze the reference? I'm curious about your thought process before diving into actual modeling. Usually, if I don't stream it, if I just have to start sculpting it, I watch the concept and I say, okay, we have to do a big mouth. Jaw has to be like, we have to see almost like on top of the lower jaw in when we sculpt it. The cheekbones are relatively wide. It's like the eyebrow arches are very like steep. The eyes are very like a ball. And all those things I start to notice because I've done this so many times and I notice it. If you're just a beginner, I would advise you not to analyze the concept that much. Just start doing it. And when you do it, in the process of doing it, you will understand things. You will start to notice things that next time you probably will see from watching the concept for just half minute or something in the beginning. Or even if it's not next time, it will be at some point. I'm not hate AI, but I'm afraid AI because I'm poor country. I eat one time only every day. AI made it from 2 times eat to 1 times eat. I'm not sure about that. I mean, AI is replacing some 2D artists, but not everybody. So, if you are a 2D artist who is doing pretty unique content, it will be difficult to replace you. If you're a 2D artist in a company like these gambling companies who are making gambling software, who are making gambling games, then you are very easy to replace because this company will have a lot of artworks already. They will get these artworks, teach their own AI, so they will not have copyright issues, and then this AI will replace you completely. There will be only one artist left, for example, the lead artist, who will retouch the AIs so they have like right number of fingers and other stuff. But the AI will do the most of the job, which is fine. Sometimes this is fine. But of course, if you're doing unique stuff, then the AI will probably not be able to replace even the 2D artists. I see now a lot of 2D artists I know, almost all of them still are working in the industry. That's for the 2D artists. 3D AI is still a long way from the 2D one. So the 2D AI nowadays, everybody will agree, it's on a very good level. But still, the 2D artists, they have jobs. Most of them. So, the 3D artists, we don't have anything to worry about, at least for a lot of time. Because, why? A long time. Why? Even if the 3D AI starts to do a very good job, then who will work with these models? Who will be able to do slight changes? Who will be able to do a different pose? Who will be able to do all the stuff that's needed for this model to go to production? The 3D artist. It will not be a 2D artist. It will not be somebody from the street. So at least for the next like 10 years or even more, the 3D artist will be needed. And only when you will be able to go to the AI and say, I want a game which is like this and this and this with the main character which is like this, and he wears this kind of armor, and you can change the armors, and you can write the script of the whole game, and then the AI will be able to make a game for you, complete game, with the style that you want, with everything, without making characters, without making environments, without making anything. Then maybe we will be extinct. We will get extinct. But until then, we are fine. This time will come, I guess, at some point. Although, as I'm seeing right now, the AI is kind of struggling. Why? It requires a lot of resources, and the more complex the AI becomes, and it will develop, it will become more complex, it will require even more resources. So at some point, it will be pretty difficult for the AI to work. It will be slower, probably. There will be other problems than just the AI itself. It will be like the resources and everything. Yeah. Hey Nico, I hope you're doing fine. I have a very small request. Oh, now we're doing requests? Interesting. I'm learning to sculpt in Blender with a tablet, but my brushes behave a bit weird when I use clay strips brush. Yeah, clay strips brush in the newest Blender When you go like 2, which is clay strips, let's go like 2 clay strips, you have to go here in the tool menu and turn on this thing here. By default it's turned off, which is awkward. Turn it on and it will be fine. Every time when I start Blender, I have to turn this on manually. If you don't want to do this, you have to copy the clay strips brush, you have to turn it on, save the brush, because you cannot save on the existing brush. You have to copy the clay strips, make a copy of it, save it with this option on here, and then it will be fine. How do you handle burnout, if you ever had it? Everybody has a burnout. Since I'm not working like 8 hours every day right now, I don't have a burnout. I don't burn out. But when I was working, I don't know, burnout... yeah, have I had burnout? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, I cannot actually... when I was going to a psychologist, they asked me how I feel. I have to describe my feelings. It was super difficult for me to describe the feelings. It's very difficult. So, since I cannot describe my feelings, I don't know if I have had burnout. Because when I was working in Gameloft, for example, I was 8 hours in the studio, then I come home. Sometimes I'm 8 hours in the studio sculpting, I come home and sculpt more. So, I don't know, burnout, probably not so much. Also, I'm pretty fast. Usually, when you compare my work with the work of the other 3D artists, I cannot burn out, because I'm usually faster than most, so I can do my job faster than they can do their job. So, I don't burn out, because we both are given some concepts, we have to do these concepts for 1 week, I do the concept for 3 days, and then I just relax. You know, sometimes I just slow myself intentionally, so I don't burn out. You know, I just put a little bit of stop in my work. I work. When I see that I'm too far ahead, I start looking at YouTube videos, I start looking at socials and stuff. Then I go back to work a little bit more. And that's something you have to balance a little bit. And also, when you do something that you like so much, creating stuff, and you are happy with your job, then burnout is difficult to have. But of course, it's always possible when you are sculpting. For example, you are working in a studio and you are sculpting. You have to sculpt, but they see that you are fast, and you're the only sculptor there. So they start to give you more and more job. They start to give you... so you have to sculpt one model not for 1 week, but for 3 days. Then they see that you can do it for 3 days. Then they start to push you to do it for 2 days. Then the burnout is absolutely possible. But other than that, it's... yeah, you have to balance it. I like so much the teeth that you sculpt. Yeah, sometimes the teeth came out pretty well. Israel, yeah, I know Israel. Your name is Nico or Nikolai? Both. No, on my passport it's Nikolai, but people call me Nico. Hi, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling to decide whether to make a 3D statues for printing or continue building a portfolio of 3D characters in hopes of breaking into the game industry? I don't know. If you like sculpting a lot, and you like sculpting more than you like doing topology or UVs or making a game character that will be animated, if you don't like that so much, making hand-painted textures or stuff, you have to decide what you like best. If you like more sculpting, anatomy, making poses of the characters and refining them, then, you know, you will decide for yourself which one is better for you. If you are new to Blender, always start with tutorials, of course. Do you color them yourself? No, the statues that I have, I don't color them myself. You are probably annoyed getting asked the same questions, but where can I find reference to help me improve my anatomy, or how often should I practice? How often should you practice is up to you, but The more you practice, the better you will become. So for anatomy, you need to practice for at least, I think, 1 hour a day is the minimum. Lower than 1 hour a day, it's not worth it. So if you can practice for 1 hour or for 10 hours, it's up to you. But don't stop for a long periods of time. If you start, practice. And the best way to practice is to use Google. Google is your companion. Also, I have courses for anatomy. I recommend also Proco Anatomy series in YouTube. It's free and it's very good. My courses mostly are paid, but in my other channel, link in the description, I showed you. In my other channel, I have a lot of anatomy videos, especially for head and hand anatomies, also for arm and other stuff. But my courses, of course, are in more detail. I explain a lot more stuff, and I do a lot more exercises that you can also do. I show how you can do some exercises to get better in sculpting. I bought the mouse course, but I still haven't finished it. A lot of people are buying the courses because they like how they look, and they're not finishing them, which is fine, I guess, because I get the money. So money, if the money are more important, it's fine. But of course, I myself would want for more people to finish my courses, to show off in ArtStation, for example, their result. So yeah, I'm happy when I see somebody made my course and are happy with this. 3DI will get there, just a matter of time. Yeah, but obviously it's not getting there yet. Good morning, Nikolai. I always follow your work. I'm taking your Armored Assassin course and I'm really enjoying it. Very nice. When I hear somebody is taking the course and enjoying it, because it's a course after all. It's something that you have to like learn. There are a lot of stuff there to learn. Yeah. Funny, couple of months ago, 2 different people approached me with same AI character that obviously had same issues, and they wanted me to fix it so they can rig it and animate it. Character was a mess. Exactly. When some people who don't understand quite well what's happening, those people that approached me with this AI character, actually, they paid for it. They paid for somebody to do this character for them. They paid him a good money, and he made this character that it's very difficult to work with. So then they had to pay for, if I didn't accept the job, they had to pay for a company a lot of money to make this character from scratch for them. But I saved their asses because it was a matter of time. They had to do it quickly. It was for some, I think, very big exposition or show or game show or something in the Arab countries, I think. So they have money. I don't say they don't have money, but to give money for AI model is, especially if this AI model hasn't been fixed completely. And sometimes you can make something with AI, a 3D, then you place it in your Blender, and you have to spend hours fixing it, making it relatively useful. It's not like useful in a scratch. No, it's a lot of work, and sometimes it's not worth it, because at the end you will get a model which is not clean enough. If you want something clean, you have to do it from scratch, from different parts by yourself. I work at a gambling company. The 2D artists are scared but still employed. So yeah, sometimes they can be, but I noticed that in some gambling companies, they're getting rid of their 2D artists. Nico Discord artists are very good. Some of them are pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared. They will surpass me. In some areas, they probably have surpassed me already, but who knows? For example, one guy showed where it was, how to do. He's doing some hair in XGen, not next gen, XGen, for Maya, and it was actually really good hair. I cannot do any hair in Maya or XGen, so yeah, as we can see, you know, the face is fine, the face is cool, but the hair is very good, and the eyebrows. So yeah, people can do this. This is our P guy. The P guy. and he's good. He's also a good sculptor. So in Discord, yeah, it's a useful Discord, I would say. A lot of people there. Hey Nico, your course helped me a lot. I was wondering if you will do more for Blender. Like exact same course for the female assassin that you did for ZBrush, but for Blender would be so great. So the female assassin in ZBrush is a course that I did for Next Education. It's not my course. I mean, I did it, but I don't sell it. And the courses that I did for Next Education or for Victory 3D, before that, I was first doing courses for Victory 3D, then I was doing a couple of courses for Next Education, then I started doing courses only for myself. Those courses that I did for Victory 3D and Next Education, they're not bad, but I don't show myself there on the screen, so it's not that personal. I feel that showing myself, my face, on the lower left of your screen is always more personal education. Because you can see me when I'm joking, I'm smiling, for example, or I'm joking without smiling, which is also interesting. So I feel like this is more personal. The courses that I did for them, I asked them if they want me to be on there, and they say no. And this makes the course not as personal. Just my opinion, of course. Hi, are you streaming on Twitch too? No, I'm not streaming on Twitch these days. Hey, Dad. Hi, son. Are you making enough with your courses to live a comfy life? Do you still freelance? I still freelance sometimes, yes. Because nowadays, everything became so expensive, everybody knows that, because it's all over the world, the inflation, that my courses are making me enough money to live and to pay for my child kindergarten and to pay for other expenses, but I don't have anything left for savings, you know, and that's a little bit of a problem. When I do some freelance, if we have freelance, then I may have something to save, right? It will be better. I want to ask a question. Why pro artists having different topology for the body? Like I have searched for body topology and I have found that many artists have made some different loops. Because everybody is doing the loops however they can, however they want. It's not that important actually. Especially these days, especially with a little bit more a little bit more geometry. Nowadays, the hardware is more powerful, so we can do a lot more geometry. So with more geometry, you don't need to put the loops in the perfect places. So sometimes, especially if you're working with a very good animator and rigger. If you have a good animator and rigger, they can do everything with everything. They don't need a super amazing loops everywhere. And yeah, if you're working with some beginner animator that has done a couple of animations, they are very picky. They want you to do this and this and this, and then you will know that this animator is not as good, because they will be very picky. They will do feedbacks for you, for your models. When I was working in Gameloft, we had amazing animators there, and whatever topology I do, the animators say it's fine. Maybe, yeah, I was asking him, do I have to put some loops here? Yeah, put some loops there, but do I have to put loops there, or I can go all over the geometry because we have some armor or something? No, go over the geometry, don't care about loops. So yeah, it depends on the animator. Hello from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Also, game companies are like this, so why? I told you. The bad thing of using AI to reference is that design is generic and boring. Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Many people, artists especially, they like to think that AI designs are bad, they are boring, they are generic. It's not quite like this in many cases. Hi, have you tried Before Artist? I'm using it because it performs much better in sculpt mode. It's a Blender for artists or something? I'm not sure. AI growth is exponential. Measuring how fast it can grow in the last 2 years, you can assume it will be masterful in the next 3-5 years. I don't think so. I mean, nowadays, the 2D AI is on its peak. I don't think it can get better because you can do almost anything with it. The video AI is very good right now. It's getting so good. The 3D AI is absolute shit. I mean, you can sometimes some things can be done. I mean, you are pasting a concept of a jacket, for example, just a concept, and you're pasting it in the 3D AI, and the AI is making amazing 3D jacket, just perfect, which is fine. But then you are pasting a concept of a whole human, and some parts of this human are amazing, some parts are just absolute shit. So it's like very it's difficult to get a constant result. That's what I'm saying. Nowadays, we'll see. AI sucks even in 2D, and graphic design is all the same. It's not unique anymore. All companies are doing the same, and it's bad. But that's progress, I guess. Nico, when you will do portfolio reviews again? Yeah, you are asking me that all the time, but I'm not doing them yet. We'll see. I have to start doing them, right? I'm just lazy. AI growth is all based on data. Yes, we need platform continuously feeding 3D data for it to get better, but we don't have them, so... All good to YouTube, all go for once. Subscribing right now, started learning 3D models some months ago. I want to start sculpting in the close week, so yeah, that's nice. Nice. My channel probably can help you, especially my other channel. This is Speedchart Live. It's Speedchart, just Speedchart channel. Link in the description of this video, some amongst the other links. It has a lot of videos that can help you. 2D concept artists are still needing in game industry. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Most 2D artists, which are good, they are still employed. Are you going to cry yourself to sleep tonight knowing that your job will be replaced with AI? Probably not, but thank you. I will try not to cry myself to sleep. Although, when I was young, when my father beats me up before I go to sleep, I was crying, and it was very easy to fall asleep when you're crying. I was crying, I was telling myself nobody loves me and stuff like this. And yeah, I know this doesn't sound very nice, but when you mentioned crying yourself to sleep, I remember those days. Interesting times, right? Yeah. Don't imagine that my father has beaten me every day and every night or something. No, he was not a drunk. He was not stupid or something. He was not a sadist. Maybe a little bit of sadistic stuff, yeah. But he was beating me sometimes for some things. For example, he told me something once, then he'd tell me again, and the third time usually is not a word, it's a slap. So it happened sometimes, but I knew that this happened, so I started to get things very quickly. That's why when I start learning something, I'm a very quick learner, because I know back in the days that if you don't learn the thing from one, if he say it once, if you don't learn it, then maybe there will be a second time, but third time there will not be. There will be a slap. So I started learning very quickly. My brain adapted, and that's we may say it's a good thing. There are a lot of bad things that are not good because of this, but the good thing is that I started to learn very quickly. The sculpting takes a lot of storage. How do you organize or manage the space? I just buy 8 terabytes of hard drive and you're good for a couple of years. Then you start deleting your old works. Again, you're good. And also you can go to Blender, and when you go to save as, then you can go here, where it was, I think here, yeah. You can go to compress. And then it will compress it. It will be at least twice as small. The file, I mean. Yeah. But hey, try to stick to your morals, and probably most people will keep watching you because you're you. Yeah, thank you. Привет, ты знаешь русский? Я понимаю русский, чуть-чуть понимаю, да. Я не говорю, я чуть-чуть понимаю. Yeah, but I'm saying that I know Russian a little bit. Yeah, but 2 years ago, there was no 3D AI at all. Then it was basic voxel meshes, now it's complete meshes in just 2 years. Yeah, but you see, you're thinking that it will continue to develop this quickly. But for the last 2 or 3 months, I haven't seen any progress at all. For the last 2 or 3 months, the best AIs are still the AIs that were best in the last 2 or 3 months. So it's not exactly this kind of super huge progress. It's like very huge progress, and now it's like a flat line. And we may see a little bit more progress than a flat line, than a little bit progress. But in my opinion, the highest slope of progress, we have surpassed it. It's behind us. Now we will see just little jumps. That's my opinion. Also, 2D AI still has a lot of growth, especially in the creative editing and compositing functions. Probably, but I think it's good enough for many things. Thank you, sub to the other channel too. Okay, yeah. You can subdivide you can subdivide to the other channel or subscribe. I don't post in the other channel that much. Here I post almost every week. Monday usually. Today is Tuesday because yesterday was the first day of school in Bulgaria. So I had to bring my daughter to school. We had to go after that with all the parents and the children from the class to a restaurant, and it was a crazy day. So today is Tuesday, and I'm doing the stream Tuesday, not Monday. Usually I do it in this time Monday. Here. Epic sculpt as always. Yeah, but as I said, monsters are not that difficult. Either way, it would be good if people do things because they enjoy it. Yes. The fact that AI can do it better or not doesn't mean you can't enjoy modeling yourself or sculpting. Exactly, I'm saying that. If you want to sculpt, if you want to learn how to sculpt and you think you will enjoy it, that's something that you will do for enjoyment, not for money. If you are very good at it, even if the AI becomes pretty good, you still probably will be able to do it for money. But that requires a lot of time and effort, so not many people can do it. I don't mind beatings I received one bit. It depends, yeah. The beatings that our fathers or mothers or parents have delivered to us, especially in the countries which are more east. I mean, for example, in the Arab countries and in India, people are beating their kids more. In the Western countries, nowadays it's not that good. I mean, it's not considered normal to beat your kid. But back in the day, we were beaten, and there are some good that came out of that. There are some bad things that came out of that, but yeah. Yeah, and by beating, I say slap. Usually, my father didn't beat me. He didn't kick me. He didn't beat me with a stick or with his belt. Just one slap. But one slap that sometimes my mouth was bloody. Sometimes my upper lip was like this. Going like this. Because of the slap. It's like inflating. So one slap. That's it. Not like, come here, I will beat you, and start to slap him with a belt or something. No, just with the hand, with the palm slapping. Looking at you, I think your dad did a very good job. Yeah, he thinks that too, and I was thinking that he did too. But when I started to raise kids, and I tried to raise them in the same way because this is the only way I know how. This is the normal way for me to tell them something once, tell them twice, and then I get rage and hit them. It turns out that it's not a good idea. Then I kind of fixed myself a little bit. So it's good for some things, not very good for others. We have to be, we have so much information. We have access to so much information nowadays with the internet that we are the ones that can stop this chain. Because my father was beating me or slapping me, because his father was slapping him, and his father was slapping him before that, and his father was slapping him. So it was a chain. And our responsibility is to break this chain. We can break this chain, I think, of slapping. we may try to do this, right? Yeah. I'm not beating my kids anymore. I'm not slapping them for, like, maybe 9 years right now it will be. Before that, I was slapping my son from time to time, but already 9 years or almost 10 years, I haven't. And my daughter, almost never. Maybe once or twice, I couldn't restrain myself and slap her on the ass, but yeah, most of the time I try to calm myself down before I react. Oh wow, I didn't know about that compressed save. Yeah, but usually we don't use it because we have a lot of room. If you have money, I have money to buy a hard drive. At least for the technical stuff, it's I don't save money. I mean, if I need a hard drive, I will buy a hard drive. It's just the way it is. I'm not a student to not have money to buy my computer or something. Although my PC is not the best. I mean, some people who are streaming games, for example, Force Gaming, if you don't know him, he was streaming StarCraft back in the days. Now he's streaming everything. He has around 1 million subscribers, I think, so he's good. But I like him. And his RAM is the same as mine, 64 gigabytes. But his processor is much better, much newer than mine. And his video card is much better. He has 4090 video card. I have 4070 Super. And his video card is almost double. It probably double the performance than mine. But with 3D, you need a video card, yes. But Blender, for example, when you sculpt, when you don't render, it doesn't need that much video card. It needs more processor and RAM. The RAM is actually the biggest thing that you need when you sculpt in Blender. In ZBrush is the same. Professor, don't you use ZBrush anymore? No, I don't use ZBrush for 3 years already, at least. Maybe 3.5 years I haven't used ZBrush. And I don't plan to use it again. AI can be a good tool, but will never completely replace anyone, at least in the creative field. It already have replaced a couple of people, so which I know. So I know that it can replace people, but not the broad number of people. It will replace some people. What was your excuse at school? Did you tell people that you fought a tiger? Back in the days, in my days, in school, it was normal somebody to appear with some kind of injury. And everybody knew, because when I was in school, many of the students, we were from, my father was a military guy, and I was living in a neighborhood which was for military guys. I was studying in a school, at least up to 6th grade. Everybody in the school was with military fathers, and almost all of the fathers were beating their kids. So it was something like a normal stuff, You don't know a person from your friends that wasn't beaten by their parents. So it was something like a norm. We didn't know better. We didn't know anything else. So if somebody appeared with some kind of bruise, it's cool. You know that he wasn't behaving, and his father introduced beating. So it's just normal. Vicious slapping cycle. Yeah, exactly. I went to the bathroom and the conversation steered in a really weird way. Exactly. Sometimes it happens. Every time I come to stream, I hear the same "my dad beats me" story. Yeah, I'm complaining all the time from my dad, of course. Well, at least you don't have black kids, so you don't have to be afraid of them sucker punching you. That's a little bit racist, probably, we may say, but I'm not complaining. I mean, I know many people are complaining and they feel offended by everything. Oh, you are racist, you are sexist, you are something else. Here in this channel, we don't care about those stuff that much, except if it's very, very offensive, Some things are a little bit off limit, even for me. Yeah. What do you think about the fact that World War III is around the corner? Yeah, I think it is, but we shouldn't think about it. Why? If you think about it too much, you will get depressed a lot. If you want to be depressed, think about it a lot. Read about it. And, watch videos telling you that it's around the corner, it will be tomorrow. If you want to be depressed, do that. If you don't want to be depressed, just ignore it. If it happens, it will happen. It doesn't matter if you know about it, if you expect it or don't expect it, if you know a lot about it or don't know anything about it, it will just happen. If you want to be prepared, okay, be prepared. Just stack your ammunitions or whatever you can, like knives or I don't know. But nothing can help you from the bombs. For example, probably yes, if you're living in a house, you may make a bunker below the house. And then when the bomb starts to fall, you may go to the bunker. But do you want to actually live in this kind of post-nuclear world? Yeah, in the games, it's very nice and romantic and everything. In the actual world, I have a friend. He's a very earthy person. I mean, he's very based to earth, very factual person. He thinks very well. And I asked him, if the nuclear bomb falls and you know it will fall into our city, what will you do? He said, I will go to the center of the city where the bomb is gonna be, probably. Why? Because this will be the painless way to go. If you are anywhere else, it will be much more pain and suffering, and you will eventually die again, but with a lot more problems. So sometimes we have to think, if the World War III erupts, it's maybe time for everything to go. But should you be worried? Not so much. Because, only this small amount of biomass in the world, which is inside Earth or on the Earth, which are us, cares about this. If you ask an ant, do you care about World War III? Fuck you, I want to go to find something to eat. If you ask a bird, do you care about World War III? Fuck off, I have to find some insects to eat. So, only people will care about this. And why should we actually care about our survival that much? We are messing up the planet a lot. And maybe the World War III will be kind of a good end to everything. And a new beginning, probably. So we don't have to think about it as something bad. It will be bad. But still, suffering, yes. But I don't know. Shouldn't be worried that much. Whatever happens, happens. Good thing I have a i7 600 GTX 1080 and 128 gigabytes of RAM. Come on. Bragging here. Yeah, GTX 1080 is kind of an old video card. It's not super. I was with that card, then I bought another one, and I was with two 1080s video cards at some point, and it was fine. But then I decided that probably one 4070 will be pretty good for me. Monica says she's Bulgarian actually, and she's writing in Cyrillic. So this is not Russian, this is Cyrillic. I was today driving lessons. This instructor was screaming at me. So she get some kind of driving lessons. Probably she wants to get a driving license. And she go to this instructor and he was screaming, shouting. Is it normal? Okay, now for me it's normal. When my father was teaching me how to drive, I was 16 or 17. We went with his Zhiguli. The people who are from the Eastern Bloc, they know Zhiguli. Zhiguli is a car which is similar to some kind of Fiat back in the days, but Russians took the kind of, they started making this car. It was Lada 2100 something. I'm not sure exactly what number is, but we call it Zhiguli. So doesn't matter. So he drives me to this kind of a field with the car, and he put me on the position to drive, and I start driving, and I'm driving, but I cannot actually start the car properly. I start the car, then I put it on first gear because it's manual, of course, and when I do the thing with the clutch and the gas, it takes practice. I don't have it, so the car is going down, and he's starting to get upset because he's getting upset very quickly, and eventually he slaps me on the back of my neck. He's not only screaming sometimes, he's slapping. He doesn't like to scream actually too much. He's slapping more. So yeah, I remember that. And so for me, the instructor to be screaming, the driving instructor, it probably will be a little bit normal. Not today, but back in the days, yes. So maybe you should go to another company to teach you how to drive, because I'm sure nowadays there are instructors who have patience and self-discipline, so then they don't scream or punch. No, nobody's punching these days, but screaming and shouting is when somebody doesn't have the self-discipline, self-consciousness, and they get agitated very quickly. That's it. What bombs? Oh, hi from Ukraine. Drones is new war meta. Yeah, drones, but if the World War III appears, I guess at some point drones will be fine, but at some point there will be nuclear bombs. It's inevitable. If there are no nuclear bombs, it will not be World War III, in my opinion. So, if there's fighting between NATO and Russia and no nuclear bombs were used, I'm not calling that nuclear. I'm not calling that World War III. That's it. I kind of like people. Most people like people. That's normal. If you don't like people, then you're a little bit of a psychopath or sociopath or whatever. Imagine if ants talked a bunch of drunk sailors, like a bunch of drunk sailors, yeah. Wishing something bad happens to make things better is immoral. I don't wish anything. I'm just saying, if it happens, you don't have any control over this. Nobody has control over if World War III will... Nobody normal. I mean, yeah, Trump probably, or Putin, or somebody like this, yes. But for us, it just will happen. So, worrying or not worrying, it's up to you. It will not change what will happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. Yeah. I'm fairly certain that he has earned it by dedicating time to his craft and providing resources for others to learn it. No need to not be respectful unless someone's behaving poorly. Yes, man, you look a little leaner in the face. Have you lost weight? Not so much, I would say. I can teach driving, but I yell on occasion too. Yeah, so every teacher of driving is yelling on the occasion. Vaz 2101 Kopeka. I don't know Kopeka. I mean, here in Bulgaria we call it Zhiguli. This exact Vaz 2101, I think. Yeah. The other ones like 2105 or 217 were Lada. Lada 5 and Lada 7 we call them. Any moderator here on YouTube, please ban Alexander Washnik. He is a problem. We are here in peace. He is busy trying to prove his shitty, violent behavior. What is happening here? Somebody is saying. The sculpt done then. Yeah, probably, yeah. Lada Niva, my father actually have one of him. We are from Moldova. Lada Niva is a Jeep. Not a Jeep, but SUV. It was the SUV of the Eastern Bloc. I don't think there are other SUVs except for the Gas or what was the name of the other one? But Lada Niva, yeah, was one of the SUVs. One of the low amount of SUVs that we had back then. Trial by fire. Please, Nico, back to 3D, please. So how do you often use ZBrush? How often do you use ZBrush? I don't use ZBrush at all. I was using ZBrush all day, every day, for 10 years, maybe even 12 years. But for three and a half years now, I don't use ZBrush at all. Trump lands here in UK this evening. I won't be watching TV this week. Yeah. Trump. Amazing guy. So much lying. And he's suing New York Times for a couple $billion for lying about him something. And he's lying about everything all the time. Such hypocrite is just amazing. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe how this guy is one of the most powerful men in the world. It's just unbelievable. He doesn't deserve to be a cleaner of toilets even. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion, of course. I feel like I'm on Oak level of sculpting in terms of primary forms. But every time I try to sculpt secondary or tertiary forms, things looks very blurred. How can you keep forms sharper and clean? Obviously, I don't keep forms very sharp and clean, you know. I keep them relatively sharp and clean. You just need to keep them as sharp and clean as you need them to be, not much more. If you're doing something like very cartoon style, then you probably need to keep them much sharper and much cleaner. But for this type of work, don't need to be that much. And everything came with practice. Where I can find the option to move camera with Alt plus mouse tablet or Blender? Can I find it? Alt plus mouse. To move it. You move it with Control Alt. No, you move it with Shift Alt. You move it with Shift Alt and you go to File, to Edit, Preferences. And here you go to Emulate 3-button mouse. Usually this by default is off. I turn it on always because this is how I work with the tablet. But you shouldn't ask this if you have watched my video how to start sculpting in Blender with a tablet, which is on my other channel. Yeah. Can I just tell you that you look like Bas Rutten, alias the most handsome MMA fighter? I know Bas Rutten, yeah, I know him. He's pretty nice. And I probably look a little bit like him, yeah. And yeah, I'm almost as tough as him. No, Bas Rutten is one of the toughest guys. Yeah. All right, Nico. Good luck versus Murdoch. Have you used Vulkan in sculpt mode? The data is probably okay. Vulkan. I think I'm using Vulkan actually right now. Yeah, I'm with Vulkan, so I've used it all the time nowadays. Yeah. Do you make realistic characters like the ones used in games? Characters like the Vulkan render, you mean? Is there a Vulkan render? No, there is no Vulkan render. Don't lie to me. Do you make realistic characters like the ones used in games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Assassin's Creed Valhalla? That's an interesting question. All those games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Interesting. But no, I don't do that realistic characters. I mean, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has game realistic characters. The most realistic characters I've seen in a game, probably it could be some other game. Yeah, but Assassin's Creed is relatively realistic. Yeah, in some of the Call of Duties, they use scans for the characters, for the faces, so they are pretty realistic. But I don't use scans, so I don't do that. There's a fish who entered the UFC, Bas Rutten. Sorry, terrible joke. Bas. Yeah. Must be my Blender build then. Weird sorting error when I mask. I don't know. I met Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Plague Tale Innocence. Okay. I have been practicing sculpt every 3 hours. yeah, so every 2 or 3 hours you start sculpting, then you rest for 2-3 hours, then you sculpt again, then you 3 hours rest. That's interesting. Yeah, but of course, aside from the jokes, we have to stop this. It's almost 2 hours now and we are only speaking. So this is something like I don't know, like just me speaking about stuff. But as I said, this sculpt was relatively easy, so I had time to pay attention to the chat a little bit more today. Yeah. And goodbye, guys. See you later, maybe next week. If I'm not super lazy this week, I can make another video with ArtStation reviews from the Discord server. We'll see.